All right, Corey. So it's 2015 DRZ Supermoto. I've done a couple things to it. It's been about 5 days since I've started it, so it might be a slow startup. Just go over a couple of things I've done to it before we get to that. Stock tires. I've got the stock tires, rear there. I think I changed them at about, I can't remember, maybe like 800 to 1,000 miles is when I changed them to the Shinko 244s. So lots of life left in the tires, or the stock tires, if you ever wanted to switch back to those. And then, like I said, I did switch them to the I believe the Shinko 244s. Yeah, the SR 244s by Shinko. Lots of life on those. They definitely hooked up a lot better on dirt. Any kind of like wet conditions or anything like that, they did a lot better. I did switch it out to the Yoshimura pipe. I did rejet it. Also did the fender eliminator kit. I'll turn on the lights so you can see those. It's nice and bright. Blinkers, nice low profile blinkers. A lot of guys had problems with like ripping them off if they're off-roading or something like that. I never had any issues, but just went with the low profile ones. JD jetting, that's the jet kit that I had done. I took the carburetor out myself, but I did have a shop here in Boise put the jetting in. That Yoshi pipe, that is the full header pipe. Still has the same stock guard on it, but the piping all the way down to the header is all aftermarket Yoshi. Did the DRZ Supermoto stickers on the swing arm. Looks pretty good. There is some scratches on this back number plate here. It's kind of hard to tell in this lighting. There is that I wanted to point out. On this other side, there's a scratch right in there. I mean, it's all plastics, no damage to the frame rails or swing arms or anything like that. I did change out the gas tank from the stock gas tank. The stock one is black. I do have all the stock parts that I've ever taken off. But this gets you, I can't remember exactly how many gallons it'll do. I think it's like the stock one's 2.5, and I think this one was 3.5, or maybe a 4-gallon tank, somewhere in there. The mirrors, I just did some chinky like mirrors off of Amazon. They are pretty chintzy. There for a while I was riding with no mirrors. The law enforcement around here is not too picky on that kind of stuff. I do have the stock mirrors that go up here and right here on this back side here, but it was one of those things that they looked hunky-dory. They're huge long ones, and it was just easier to switch this one out to this. Gauge, so right at 2,065 miles on this. What else? I did switch out to the Acerbis front fender. It's quite a bit shorter. The stock one comes out to about here. This one's a lot shorter, has more delicate lines and whatnot. On the front turn signals, I never did change those out. One of the other things that I have done is on these axle guards or frame sliders. They always had problems with people having these things fall off, and a lot of people have switched them out to like skateboard wheels or something like that just to give them a little extra comfort. I went ahead and just did these stock ones. I think they look pretty good. did these stock ones, but then I just did a straight through bar on the front axle and the rear axle, so there's never a worry of if you're off trail or something like that you're gonna have one drop off. There is a little bit of some scratch on this front fender as well. Very minimal. It is carbureted, obviously, and like I said, I haven't started it up in probably, I don't know, maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. It has been on a trickle charger. I just took it off the trickle charger not too long ago, so hopefully it doesn't have any problems starting up. But like I said, it is carbureted, and it is like negative 12 degrees here today, so might be a little slow on pumping through. Pull out the choke. It is definitely still cold, but there's at least the idle speed. It's still cold. Popped out that choke just one. That'll warm up a little bit more for you. On this gas tank, there's a little bit of kind of discoloration just from like riding gear. Not to me, that type of stuff isn't a big deal. It's kind of in my eyes, it's a dirt bike. You know, it's not meant to be like a crotch rocket or something like that. Like my Harley. It is pretty loud. It's also in my shop, so that has it'll probably be a little bit different on this video, but I did also do the breakaway gold handle brakes and clutch lever on both sides, so they are the breakaways. Other than that, I also did do the Thumper Talk case savers. So I got the Thumper Talk on this side, and then on this other, it's just a standard. It's still Thumper Talk, but it doesn't have any emblems on them or anything like that. I did already shave down this bad boy here. It's, if you read the forms and whatnot, these are basically a pointed edge, and if anything were to happen, you lay the bike down or something like that, this lever bends and punctures your case. So I just shaved that down, made sure that if I were to have any accidents or something like that, it wouldn't be going through my case. Air filter, still stock air filter. I haven't changed that. I was planning on doing it to like a K&N or something like that. I'm not going to take off the seat right now, but I did do the 3x3 mod, which if you're not familiar, it's basically a 3x3 hole cut out in the top of the air box to allow for more airflow. That was all done just before getting the carb rejetted, so they rejetted the carb for the addition of both the pipe, the 3x3 mod, that type of stuff. Other than that, everything's pretty stock tool case. It's got my registration and insurance and then the stock tools that come in there. I can't think of anything else that I've done. if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Be more than happy to answer anything or peace of mind of anything. So, alrighty, Corey. If there's anything else you want to see in particular or still shots of anything, just give me a holler. I'll talk at you later.